Hi and welcome to our Take Two Studios YouTube channel. We are a brand new virtual production studio in the beautiful city of Salzburg in Austria that officially opened its doors on the 12th of October when we celebrated our grand opening. The main feature of our opening event was our showcase, a live film production highlighting different content workflows. In this video, we will be breaking down our showcase with you. And at the very end of that, you will get to see the final short film, so do stick around. But before we dive in, please let us introduce you to Take Two Studios.
From consulting, visualizing and planning to content creation and on-set VP, Take Two Studios has everything you need for your virtual production. The studio complex consists of Studio One, home to our LED volume. By LED volume, we mean a state-of-the-art curved LED wall that acts not only as a display, but also as a light source that realistically wraps around our actors and props, as well as a camera tracking system. And Studio 2, a cyclorama wall. Also known as an infinity wall, a cyclorama wall is a large panoramic backdrop that creates the illusion of an endless background with no visible beginning or end. We also have a green room with a kitchen, plenty of parking and 2 wide entrances so that props of all sizes can find their way into our studios.
Now, back to the showcase. Our main goal with the live showcase was to introduce the audience to the different types of content that can be displayed on a LED wall like the one here in our studios, and to show the impact that the choice of content can have on filming. And of course, we also wanted to highlight the multiple advantages that VP has to offer. In order to do that, we took our audience through a guided live film production in which we illustrated the different technical aspects, features, and limitations of each type of content. The showcase lasted a total of 1 hour and 15 minutes, including turnover time with set and prop changes, and it consisted of 3 different scenes, with each scene utilizing a different type of content. We differentiate between 3 content categories: 2D, which can be a simple image or a video; 2.5D, which consists of multiple stacked layers of images or videos that move in relation to each other; and 3D, a photorealistic virtual 3D environment that moves in parallax just like in real life. Now that you have a better idea of what our showcase was all about, let's break it down.
For our first shot, we started with 2D content. The way this works is that a video is played on the wall and the camera's perspective needs to be aligned with the perspective of the footage you've chosen. This is a very effective way to immerse your subjects into a scene. It is often used in more static shots and is most commonly used in driving scenes, so any shot where parallax is not important, 2D content is suitable. Especially for driving shots, this content is also referred to as driving plates, where productions stick cameras on their cars, drive through the streets, and bring them later back to the studio for shooting. This example, our driving plate, was pre-rendered in Unreal Engine in 360 degrees, so we play back a normal video, but because it's 360 degrees, we have the flexibility to change our perspective on the spot, or even shoot into the opposite direction and still enjoy accurate reflections on our subjects. Pretty neat. Now we just need to make sure our lights match with the settings we want to set our subjects in. We can automate the light parameters such as intensity, temperature, RGB values by sampling what is displayed on the wall and sending that signal to our lights via DMX. A very handy and immersive tool to sell the illusion of actually being on location. As you can see, the intensity of the light flickers automatically as the bridge casts its shadows onto the rider. Let's add a little bit of shake to the subjects to just help to sell the driving aspect. Once the DOP is happy with the look, we just press record and that's it, all recorded inside of camera. What you see is what you get. Our next setup was for the scene with 2.5D or 2.5D content. So what do I mean with 2.5D? Here we create our content in a 3D space, in our case, inside of Unreal Engine. But the assets that we place here are all 2D assets, be it photos or videos. But by placing them inside of Unreal Engine, we can stack them behind each other, giving us depth. And with the track camera, meaning that the virtual camera position is synchronized with the real-life camera position, we're able to get parallax in our captured footage, giving us so much more flexibility while shooting. Here we want to establish our protagonist in a balcony scene, overseeing the large cityscape. The camera dollies from the left to the right, so we need to make sure our content can display parallax. The world we need to show is enormous and would take a lot of time to build in full 3D. We reach for the 2.5D content workflow, stacking images of houses behind each other, saving us computation power and time. But we achieve the same visual fidelity. The downside of using 2D assets is that they cannot interact with lighting as much. The shadows on a photo are baked in, so when we change the sun inside of Unreal, the shadows won't change on the image. Now, back in the studio, when we dolly from side to side, we get a nice parallax effect in our city landscape, establishing our character in an enormous scene. And here again, it's very important to align your external lights with the world you want to shoot in. So we adjust the lights to match the sun's direction and color. Also sampled directly from our environment and sent via DMX to our fixtures. For our next scene, we are going full 3D, which means the content is created in a 3D space inside of Unreal Engine. So every single asset here is a 3D object. That means it has geometry and interacts fully with lighting. We can rotate it, we can alter its shape, and we can change its texture. The full shebang. This also enables us to get the environment a lot closer to our actor. Because the closer our world to the subject is, the more precise and accurate our parallax needs to be. That's, for example, especially important on the ground. With a flat photo, the illusion would break quickly on the shot. With the flexibility of a 3D workflow, we took it a bit further and partnered with Cyberith, who provided us with a prototype of their windmill, which is basically a turntable with a treadmill on it. It is also programmable with Unreal. So we can fake here our adventurer walking along the road as the speed of the treadmill is sent to the camera inside of Unreal. And the rotation as well. So it looks like we would rotate the camera around our subject, but where in reality it never moved. For lighting, we sampled our 3D environment, so we can play out DMX commands to our lights. As the windmill turns, our lights change according to the environment. So the sun always comes from the same actual direction. 3D content gives you the most flexibility and options, and the most immersive content. But depending what you need to show, the asset creation can take time, and you need to make sure your scene is not too heavy for the computers, so they still achieve the desired frame rate of your production. So as you can see, from all these examples, no workflow is really better than the other. It's all about figuring out the needs of your scene that will determine which and what type of content is best suitable, whether it be 2D, 2.5D or 3D, or even a mix of all three of them.
We would like to take this opportunity to thank our guests and all the incredible people and companies that supported us in making not only our opening but Take-Two Studios possible. We would like to thank our incredible crew and panelists for making the evening so special, Livewire and Vabe for providing us with key items that fit perfectly with the world and mood of our short film, the latest Livewire 1 electric motorcycle, and the second-hand clothes for our protagonist's post-apocalyptic costume. And special thanks goes to Seven Hills Motion Picture Service for providing Take-Two Studios with all their amazing equipment, and Cyberith for providing a prototype of their brand new vidmill. Their team worked over hours to deliver the vidmill in time and personally supported us with its Unreal integration. We have added links to all our partners and supporters below, in case you would like to find out more about them.
This wraps up our video. We hope you've gotten a good first understanding of the possibilities and benefits of virtual production. If you have any questions or would like to have a look at our studios, get in touch with us on info@take2studios.at. We will be happy to help you realize your projects. Keep in mind that this is just a rough outline. There's still a lot more that can be done with virtual production, and we are excited to share our future projects with you here on this channel. Make sure to subscribe so you don't miss out on our new videos, and if you want to stay up to date with all things Take-Two Studios, sign up to our newsletter and follow us on Instagram. All the links are in the description below. Thanks for watching and see you next time.